Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome, man. Welcome to Beyond Classic Rock. Today, I've got a complimentary quad coming your way, man. And it's featuring the music of a band called They Might Be Giants. And we're going to start off with Birdhouse in Your Soul, followed by Palindrome I, Thermostat, and finally a self called Nowhere. Before I pop this off, I just want to give a shout out and a thanks to April Garris. Thanks very much for recommending this, April, and introducing me and probably a bunch of people to something new. Always interested in that, always excited for that on this platform. So, April says, I'd like to recommend They Might Be Giants Quad. They're pioneers in the nerd rock subgenre and are one of the most eclectic, quirky, clever, and sometimes profound bands ever, in my opinion. Much of their music is accordion-driven and is more intellectual than emotional. Their lyrics are playful yet thought-provoking. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Alright, April, let's check it out, man. Starting with Birdhouse in Your Soul. Hang on, y'all. My damn link isn't opening, man. It's trying to open. Oh, technology. Oh, there it goes. Okay. They Might Be Giants. Birdhouse in Your Soul. Let's get it.
I'm your only friend, I'm not your only friend, but I'm a little glowing friend, but really I'm not actually your friend, but I am. Blue canary in the outlet by the light switch, who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. I have a secret to tell from my electrical well. It's a simple message and I'm leaving out the whistles and bells, so the room must listen to me, filibuster vigilantly. My name is Blue Canary, one note spelled L-I-T-E. My story's infinite, like the Longines Symphony. It doesn't rest. Blue Canary in the outlet by the light switch, who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. I'm your only friend, I'm not your only friend, but I'm a little glowing friend, but really I'm not actually your friend, but I am. There's a picture opposite me of my primitive ancestry, which stood on rocky shores and kept the beaches shipwreck free. Though I respect that a lot, I'd be fired if that were my job. After killing Jason off and countless screaming Argonauts, new bird of friendliness, like guardian angels, it's always near. Blue canary in the outlet by the light switch, who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. While you're at it, leave the nightlight on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. While you're at it, keep the nightlight on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it, say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. While you're at it, leave the nightlight on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it, say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul.
I just got the meaning of what this song is about. Cute, clever. It's from the point of view of a nightlight with the shape of a bird. That's cute, man. All right, good sounding band. Good, good concept, good creative concept. Yeah, I can see what you're saying already, April. We're quirky, clever. That's what you said. Eclectic, quirky, and clever. Definitely quirky and clever. We'll probably get into the more profound stuff, but this is definitely quirky and clever. Yeah, I like quirky and clever. Okay, they might be giants. I was racking my brain throughout the song trying to say, geez, man, come on, I had to have heard of these guys, you know? But no, I'm sorry to say, man, I don't think I've heard of these guys, man. Sometimes I have like little passing bits of memory that says, yes, you've heard the name, or yes, you've heard the tune, or some sort of distant reference. Maybe a friend had it in their playlist, or I'd seen the title somewhere, but no, nothing is coming, man. You know, my memory runs really deep where it comes to music. For some reason, I seem to really collect information about music. I couldn't tell you about movies. I couldn't tell you about other forms of social trivia or things like that. But music, if I can't tell you what specifically, I have a memory attachment or something like that. But sometimes it's just nothing. So let's get acquainted. This is why I read, by the way. This is why I do my Wikipedia thing. It's more for me more than anyone else, because as a personal journey, when I go through this process, I remember, you know, I won't forget. It solidifies. You know, I might forget specifically what particular complimentary quad had this particular song, or I might actually even sometimes forget that I had actually included that song in a quad, you know, hundreds of quads later. But I won't forget the song. You know, I won't forget more like the story behind the song, most of the time anyway. So that's why I read. A lot of people still get on me for reading. Why do you do that shit, man? That shit's annoying. Can't you just be a regular reactor like everybody else? No, motherfucker, I can't. Sorry. So, I went off there. Sorry, April. So, back to They Might Be Giants. They Might Be Giants is an American alternative rock band formed in '82 by John Flansburgh and John Linnell. During TMBG's early years, Flansburgh and Linnell frequently performed as a duo, often accompanied by a drum machine. In the early 90s, TMBG expanded to include a backing band. The duo's current backing band consists of Marty Beller, Dan Miller, and Danny Weinkauf. Weinkauf. The group is known for their uniquely experimental and absurdist style of alternative music, typically using surreal, humorous lyrics and unconventional instruments in their songs. They're kind of like a more talented version of Weird Al. Sorry, don't mean to shit on Weird Al. Over their career, excuse my damn throat, early in the morning and I drink coffee and then I do reactions. I gotta get off of that habit. Over their career, they have found success on the modern rock and college radio charts. They've also found success in children's music and in theme music for several television programs and films. The duo has been credited as vital in the creation of the prolific DIY music scene in Brooklyn in the mid-1980s. TMBG has released 22 studio albums. Flood has been certified platinum, and their children's music albums Here Comes the ABCs, Here Comes the 1, 2, 3s, and Here Comes Science have all been certified gold. Hold on, that's 3 different albums, isn't it? Let me go back. Team has released 22 studio. Flood has been certified platinum, and their children's music albums. Okay, yeah, there's 3 different albums here. I thought that was just one big ass title of an album. The band has won 2 Grammy Awards. They were nominated for a Tony Award for Best Original Score, Music and/or Lyrics, written for the theater for SpongeBob SquarePants, the Broadway SpongeBob SquarePants, the Broadway musical. The band has also sold over 4 million records. All right, so they've been around. They're not new kids on the block, and they know their way around success. So, okay. And sadly, yes, I have not heard of these guys. Some people say to me, damn man, how in the hell could you not have heard this song? Or how in the hell could you not have heard this band? What can you do? You kind of hang your head in shame a little bit. You don't want to kind of go back in time and just reverb the same old story about, well, I was raised on this and I hung with this crowd, and you don't want to go through all of that shit all the time. Birdhouse in Your Soul. Birdhouse in Your Soul is a song by American alternative rock band They Might Be Giants. It was released in late '89 through Elektra Records as the lead single from the album Flood, making the single the band's first release on a major label. Birdhouse in Your Soul is the band's highest charting single in both the US and the UK, and is one of their best known songs. The song's lyrics is narrated from the perspective of a nightlight. It took me the whole song to catch it. Yeah, I'm slow in the morning. Due to its largely digital composition, it contains some unconventional musical elements for a pop song, including an atypical snare drum pattern and modulation among 4 keys. Production was handled by Clive Langer and Alan Winstanley. That's how you pronounce it. Music video. The music video for Birdhouse in Your Soul was directed by Adam Bernstein and filmed in the New York County Surrogates Courthouse building in Manhattan in '89. The video features Linnell and Flansburgh moving and performing erratically amidst a group of dancers dressed in red plaid shirts. In the video, the dancers wear masks made from sunglasses affixed with an image of the eyes of William Allen White, whose face is used frequently in the band's visual material. These props were designed by John Flansburgh. In an article on They Might Be Giants music videos, Emily Peterman speculates that the zombie-like behavior of the dancers, coupled with the video's warehousing setting, evokes oppressed factory workers. I gotta check this video out. April, how come you didn't show us this video? Peterman finds this to be at odds with the song's cheerful music. On the other hand, the non-sequitur lyrics and surreal musical elements, such as modulation, are complemented by moments of nonsense in the video, such as when Linnell and Flansburgh's performance becomes embedded in a bizarre situation, or the performance is abandoned altogether. Okay. Wow, they got a big reception here for this. Critics got a lot to say, man. Yeah, I can't read all of this. Let's read two paragraphs. Reception. Birdhouse in Your Soul received positive attention from critics. In his review of Flood for All Music, Stephen Thomas Erlewine called it one of the band's finest singles. Reviewing the single alone, Stuart Mason elaborates that, compared to previous releases, the high production value highlights Linnell and Flansburgh's knack for dynamics and arrangement. Mason also speculates that the song's popularity stems from the modest depth of its lyric. which is somewhat oblique on the surface but ultimately easy to figure out, giving the listener a sense of pride in their understanding. Yeah, of course it only took me till the end of the damn song to figure it out. Chris Willman, writing for the LA Times, predicted the track would become a college radio standard. And it had. Commercial performance. Birdhouse in Your Soul peaked at number 3 on the US Modern Rock Tracks chart and number 6 on the UK Singles chart. It is They Might Be Giants' highest charting single in both countries. In 2010, the song was featured in an advertisement for Clark's shoes. Following this, the song returned to the UK Singles chart for 3 weeks, peaking at number 70. That's interesting. So it went on the chart, left the charts, and then went back to the charts. That usually comes following the wake of some sort of a resurgence, I guess. Maybe the commercials, or maybe it was featured in some other kind of social media thing that were not recorded and passed on here. Kind of like a lot of songs are featured in like those video games. A lot of video games, those songs on the soundtrack, I guess there's a big resurgence. Or something happens, maybe a member has passed, tribute, and then, so different social events sometimes trigger a song going back to the charts. Maybe they turned it into some sort of a really cool, funky club beat, and then it went back in the form of a club beat. Who's to say? I'm just speculating though. If you have some input on that, and you know your music shit very well, educate a brother a bit. Alright, man. Palindrome I is the next song up. Let's check out more of this quirky ass but intellectually challenging band. They Might Be Giants. Palindrome I. Let's get it.
Someday mother will die and I'll get the money. Mom leans down and says my sentiments exactly. You son of a bitch, I palindrome I. Palindrome I. And I am a snakehead eating the head on the opposite side. Hanging from the clothesline. See the medical chart with the random zigzag. Now I'll have to decide. Palindrome I. Palindrome I. And I am a snakehead eating the head on the opposite side. Palindrome I. Son, I am able, she said, though you scare me, watch, said I. You love it, I said, watch me scare you, though, said she. Hey, bully, my son, see the spring of the grandfather clock unwind. See the hands of my offspring making wind. Dad, palindrome, Dad, I palindrome I. Palindrome I. And I am a snakehead eating the head on the opposite side. Palindrome I. Palindrome I. Palindrome I. Palindrome I.
Okay. The big thing that I'm getting from that, if I'm right, is that he's admittedly a selfish SOB, and that he is all about himself and his life, his future, his world. That's all he cares about. Is that kind of like what I'm getting out of that? Am I missing a big chunk? I feel that I'm missing a big chunk, but I have a feeling that that is what he's saying. It's a statement he's making. Yo, all I care about is me. All I care about is now, right? Something like that. I think I'm missing a big chunk. Let me know, man. It's going to warrant a couple of more listens. I'm still getting used to their platform. I'm still getting used to their quirkiness, as you put it, April. It's entertaining, but at the same time, you got to pay attention because they are trying to say something, you know. So there's some elements there of being entertained, but at the same time, you got to listen a little bit so that you don't miss what they're trying to really say. Yeah. It's a mental exercise. This is going to take me another listen. If it's really obvious and painstakingly obvious to you and you're rolling your eyes like, dude, how come you're not getting this shit? Let me know. Right? Don't just sit there, watch me and like, oh my God, you know. Let me know, right? I listen to hundreds of songs and sometimes it doesn't come quickly. And besides that, it's 5:30 in the morning. That's my excuse. All right. Palindrome I is a song by American alternative rock duo They Might Be Giants. It was the second single from Apollo 18, released in '92 by Elektra Records. They Might Be Giants performed the song on Late Night with David Letterman in '92. Michael McKean recites the lyrics of the song in the documentary Gigantic, A Tale of Two Johns. Yeah, Tale of Two Johns, good title. Yeah, both members of the band, both leaders of the band are named John. Composition. The title of Palindrome I came from a demo written by John Flansburgh for They Might Be Giants' telephone service, Dial a Song. John Linnell adapted the lyric after attending a reading by the American poet Hal Serwitz. The song's opening line, "Someday Mother will die and I'll get the money," is a reference to Serowitz's portrayal of mother-child relationships. Okay. The song contains several palindromes and references to the concept of recursion. For example, the lyrics contain the straightforward palindrome "egan," a bass tone denotes a bad age, and "manonam." The middle eight consists of what critic Stuart Mason calls a sentence palindrome, in which the words, rather than the letters, are the units in a sequence which reads the same backwards and forwards. The lyrics also reference a snakehead eating the head on the opposite side, called an Ouroboros, which reviewer Ira Robbins interprets as a grim life mask carved from the conceptual clay of reversible phrases. Reception. Palindrome I received generally positive attention from critics. Writing for AllMusic, Stuart Mason concluded that the song was musically appealing enough to overcome its shallow lyrics, which he felt employed wordplay for its own sake rather than in the service of a particular idea or emotion. I'm getting flashes of yes. Man, I tell you, I was lost as hell when I first listened to Yes. You guys should have seen the comments, man. Sorry, what was my first Yes reaction? And then it was an album. And then I was so deep in it and I was lost as hell. And I was like, what the hell are these guys trying to say? It all sounds great, you know? The musicianship and everything sounds fantastic. Love the harmony, the bass guitars just took me, man. He was the shit. You know, I put him shoulder to shoulder with the likes of John Paul Jones. There's so much about Yes that I dug, but I came out on the other end of that first Yes reaction and then that first Yes album, lost as hell. And I said, what the hell is this shit, man? I felt stupid not being able to catch it, right? Because their delivery is plain and clear enough that you can understand the words, the delivery, but you couldn't conjure the picture and the visuals. And I thought to myself, well, maybe it's because I'm listening to the platform and the genre specific of progressive rock, right? But at the same time, I said, well, no, because I listen to Rush and I can understand what it is. I can understand that it's a dreamscape. I can understand that it's a future thing. I can understand most of what it is. But with Yes, I was lost, man. Until a couple of people in the comments said, yo, you can't just throw the guy into the deep end like this. He's going to be totally lost, and it's going to turn him off from doing Yes reactions. And they were right. It turned me off from doing Yes reactions for a while, because I came to learn that it's all a mind melding, a mind swirling thing, and you come out of the other end not having any sense of what it's about, even though it's a fun listen. But maybe these guys are the same way, you know, so if I approach it that way, I'll probably get a little bit more out of it. All of that setting up just to say that. In a review for Apollo 18, Karen Schlossberg said that the lyrics of Palindrome I sound like Edgar Allan Poe and David Lynch meeting the Monkees, creating an unlikely sing-along hook. Okay, I'm getting it. So you know what? All of that shit that I just said about Yes, I think also applies to these guys. In a 2016 Gothamist retrospective revisiting, geez man, let me try that shit again. In a 2016 Gothamist retrospective revisiting They Might Be Giants studio album, Ken Bays noted Palindrome I as a highlight for Linnell's strong vocal. Okay, and that's it. That's what Wikipedia has for us on Palindrome I. Yeah, they sing well, good musicianship and all of that stuff, and they definitely paint a couple of very interesting images in your mind. It's just a question of am I getting the right visual here? Am I getting the gist of what they're really saying? All right, man. Let's hit up our next track, that being Thermostat. All right. They Might Be Kings, Thermostat. Let's get it. Oh. Right away I'm hearing the sexy sax.
When the hands that operate the motor lose control of the lever, when the mind of its own and the wheel puts two and two together, when the indicator says you're out of oil, should you continue driving anyway? There's a thermostat that regulates the temperature that might not be reliable, that should be disconnected. Turn it up, turn it down. Turn it up when the call brings you down. When the heat bothers you, turn it down. Turn it up, turn it down. As I was just saying, as I was just saying, as I was just telling you a minute ago, I was just talking and someone interrupted. Or was it a loud explosion? Or is the thermostat engulfed in flames? Or is it just me? Turn it up, turn it down. Turn it up when the cold brings you down. When the heat bothers you, turn it down. Turn it up, turn it down. As I was just saying, as I was just saying, as I was just saying. Turn it up, turn it down. Turn it up when the call brings
quirky, but charming. I love the brass in this song, especially that sexy sax. Sax, trumpet, and trombone, I'm thinking. Okay. Those are his thoughts of the ins and outs and the day-to-day, where you would incorporate the use of a thermostat. And he's fleshing it out. What does that mean to you necessarily? Oh, well, let me tell you what that means. That's what this song is about. Very interesting. Getting everybody thinking about and pondering the existence and the use of thermostats. Yeah, man. How in the hell have I not heard of these guys? How in the hell have they not blown up more? Or maybe they have, and I've just been, like on a different side of the orbit, you know what I'm saying, where it comes to music. That could very well be the case. That's usually the case more so, because how in the hell have I not heard of certain great bands like Rainbow, featuring Ronnie James Dio and Richie Blackmore, you know what I'm saying? Of course I knew of Deep Purple, but I didn't know that they had so many stars, so many offshoots. I didn't know that Deep Purple were part of the unholy trinity. I heard that term before, but then, you know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that you guys grew up with your entire lives that it's just a part of your whole pedigree, your whole, the cornerstone of your being in a way. And, I'm playing catch up with it. Yeah, so sometimes I'm like, geez, man, how in the hell have I not heard this shit? All right. Going off again. Thermostat. Thermostat appears on John Henry. It's the fifth studio album by American alternative rock group They Might Be Giants. It was released in '94. It's the first album by They Might Be Giants to include a full band arrangement, rather than synthesized and programmed backing tracks. The album's name, a reference to the man versus machine fable of John Henry, is an allusion to the band's fundamental switch to more conventional instrumentation, especially the newly established use of a human drummer instead of a drum machine. John Henry is TMBG's longest record and was the band's highest charting adult album, having peaked at number 61 on the Billboard 200 until 2011's Join Us, which peaked at number 32. Yeah, adult album. Yeah, because these guys have, they've done a bunch of kids albums. In 2013, the album was reissued across a double LP by Asbestos Records. Oh yeah, there's a decent sized review here for this by AllMusic. So whole paragraph, man. AllMusic review by Rick Anderson. Rick says, just in case you thought that the only thing they were capable of was smart aleck, herky-jerk novelty tunes on John Henry, John Flansburgh, and John Linnell. Yeah, let me try that again, I'm sorry. Okay, just in case you thought that the only thing they were capable of was smart aleck, herky-jerk novelty tunes on John Henry, John Flansburgh, and John Linnell, put together an honest-to-goodness rock band and show that they know how to use it. And the result is one of the more satisfying They Might Be Giants projects, a crunchy yet sweet assortment of the usual bemusement, unrelated thing, weirdness, and smart aleck herky-jerky novelties tunes. Bolstered by unusually hard-rocking accompaniment, kudos to bass player and Peru Ubis alumnus Tony Maimon and the drummer Brian Doherty for coming up with the tectonic groove that powers aka Driver, and to everyone involved for the irresistible guitar pop of Subliminal and I Should Be Allowed to Think. unquote. Okay. Those are the songs and all the different references on the album. Okay. Instrumental excerpts for No One Knows My Plan and The End of the Tour were used as the opening and closing themes, respectively, during the first season of the animated variety show Cartoon Planet in '95. Okay. Yeah, so it's just basically all album information here. John Henry. Alright, man. So, let's hit up our next track, man, our last track. And this track is also on John Henry, so I'm not going to reread all of that album information, especially if it wasn't very clear. Let's check out A Self Called Nowhere. A Self Called Nowhere. Let's get it.
I'm sitting on the curb of the empty parking lot of the Star, where they let me play the organ. I'm waiting for my ride, but I want to wait inside the Star, where they let me play the organ. But I'm thinking of a wooden chair in the room at the top of the stair, and I'm looking down the stairwell at the vanishing dawn on the map of the spot. Let me take you there. The dotted line surrounding the mind of a self-called nowhere. It's a thing named it in a bottomless pit. You can't see it there. The sunken head that lies in the bed of a self-called nowhere. Standing in my yard where they tore down the garage to make room for the torn down garage. I'm looking for my car, but I must have sold my car when I needed to buy an electric organ. But I'm thinking of a wooden chair in the room at the top of a stair, and I'm looking down the stairwell at the vanishing dawn on the map of the spot. Let me take you there. The dotted lines surrounding the mind of the self-called nowhere. It's a thing named it in a bottomless pit. You can't see it there. The sunken head that lies in the bed of a self-called nowhere. Vanishing dawn on the map of the spot. Let me take you there. The dotted lines surrounding the mind of the self-called nowhere. It's a thing needed in the bottomless pit. You can't see it there. The sunken head that lies in the bed of the self-called.
I like that sonic swirling that was happening there. Nice. All right. A Self Called Nowhere. Good tune, man. Good tune. I would say it's my personal favorite out of the four. Just by a little. And trying to catch the meaning of this one too, I think that it's someone who is a little bit on the aimless, has no direction, maybe socially awkward, doesn't have a lot of social contact, and so in that case, he's drifting a lot, you know, and he's finding solace in the use of an organ. Yeah, I think that's the gist of it, you know. In a case like that, people have a lot of time on their hands. I guess maybe that's the point that you're trying to kind of catch from it. Again, if I'm missing a big chunk of it and it's obvious, let me know, man. Let me know. Yeah, it's going to take a few listens to really kind of tune into these guys and their format and their quirkiness. And what did that reviewer say? Smart aleck, herky jerky novelty. Yeah, man. So they're charming though. At the bottom end of it all, whether you get them or you don't, they're quite charming, and backed with some really good musicianship and all of that, and got a good solid rock signature to them. But I think for safety's sake, April, even though you submitted this on the Classic Rock platform, I think what I'm going to do is definitely put this on the Beyond Classic Rock platform. You know, there's some people in the classic rock arena who really have a very, very strong opinion as to what is classic rock and what isn't. And it turns into a wicked pissing contest you wouldn't believe. So I'm going to spare you and me the hardship and just put this on the Beyond Classic platform. You know, just since this platform has been around, it's actually spared me a lot of, you know, trying to keep things separate and keep people from going at each other and just littering my comment section with insults and stuff like that. You wouldn't believe how some people just get into it, you know what I mean? So confrontational. And it's as if some people just, I don't know, visit these chat rooms just to get into a debate and a back and forth. And, you know, they're all, I don't know, what do you call them? Keyboard warriors, you know, so bold behind their keyboards, behind the safety of their keyboards, right? So I want to avoid a pissing contest, basically. So it's safe to put it on the Beyond platform. So, man, but overall, yeah, I like these guys. I like their sound, and I do like their quirkiness. What did you say? Eclectic, quirky, and clever. Sometimes profound. Yeah, absolutely. They've got all of that going on. So I can imagine this listening to an entire album from beginning to end would be really interesting. But you know what I was thinking about these guys? I was thinking, how cool would it be if you were to say, yo, they might be giants. I want you guys to give us a concept album. Give me a concept album. Tell a story. Tell a story in the likes of Tommy, Quadrophenia, you know, Abigail. Tell a story about something, you know, someone. Take an entire album, maybe even two. These guys would be fantastic doing a concept album, wouldn't they? Let me know about that. That's what I think. If I was their manager or somebody of influence, I would say, sit your asses down and give me a concept album. And I bet you that would just shoot them up into the stratosphere. I'm pretty sure, man. Anyways, guys, this was cool. April, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And apologies if I might have slipped and called you Amy, because I've got a patron who's Amy, and she's on both platforms. So sometimes I confuse my Aprils for Amy. So apologies ahead of time if I've done that. Sometimes I confuse Paige and Plant. You know, some people were just taking chunks out of my hide because I mistakenly said, yeah, you know, and I think that Paige is one of the best singers in rock, you know, but I, of course, meant to say Plant, and people jumped on my ass for that. Yo, so apologies ahead of time. Dousing flames and fires before they start. All right, yeah, man. So I like these guys, and I would definitely check out more of what they have to offer. I like their sound, and I like their quirky charmness, if that's a coined phrase. I like them for that. And they are really, really smart, and they're very creative at the end, backed with some really, really good musicianship, and they have a little bit of some boom and thunder in it, you know, so a little bit of hard rock, a little bit of the classic rock sound, a little fusion of everything. That's really good, and they make it work. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining me, man. Oh yeah, let me see what I got coming up. Yeah, I gotta jump on. I'm a little bit behind. So Joshua, Jack, Akachita, Jerry, got some reactions loaded for you guys coming up very soon. Two new patrons as well sprinkled in there. So I gotta get on this, but I'll be cranking these out really, really fast in the next couple of days, man. Playing catch up. It's not as busy a week and going into the weekend as it was last time. It just took me out of it, and a whole week almost went by where I couldn't do any reactions. So I'll be able to catch up, I'm sure. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Take care. Hope you guys like this. Thank you very much again, April. And looking forward to checking out more of these guys down the road. Take care. Peace.